Hello. So today I want to tell you about the game Betta from Synapses Games. And I was able to find this online for $5 and it said it was a puzzly game. So I thought, why not give it a try? It plays 1 to 5 players. However, the 5 player version is different and I have not tried with the extra player that plays in a different way, but the solo mode is puzzly and a lot of fun. And the multiplayer mode is great. This is from Synapses Games and I really enjoy their Pyramido games. So I thought, let's give this a try. So in this game, you are trying to fulfill patterns and have the most of your fish visible in different displays at the end of the game. So there are different objectives, easy, medium, and hard. And each game you're going to randomly play with 2 of each. So you game to game will have some variability that way. So if you can ever make, whoops, I got one too many there. If you can ever make these indicated patterns in a display with a fish you played that round, you are going to immediately score those points. And you have a scoreboard here. You'll start at obviously 0, 1, and then you go through it. It's kind of hard to see, but this is your light colored side of your fish, has the white lines, and then this is the dark colored side. So if you pass 50, you flip your fish over and you now know you are worth 50. But this will kind of let you know where you're at during the game. So you're going to be scoring points for that. And then at the end of the game, each display starts out like this and will be full of fish by the end. And then this tells you at the end of the game how many fish you have in that display, how many points you're going to get for each of the displays that's laid out. And based on player count, you will have different numbers of displays out. So for example, if you were playing a 2-player game, you would have 5 displays out. 3 players is 6 and 4 players is 8. So this is essentially your playing area where you will be putting your fish to try and score these patterns, but also just to have the most of your fish visible, that is a hard word today, in the display at the end of the game to score points. So what do my fish look like? Well, there are 4 player colors. Green and purple are my favorite. And these cards are really unique. So as you can see, the back of the card tells you the color of the player, so you know. And each card is going to have different fish available. You will always have a majority of your color, but you'll have another color on there as well, which you can use to hurt or hinder another player. So there definitely is take that. So you will have your 12 cards and you will shuffle them up, and these cards are slippery little suckers and they are a little bit difficult to shuffle because of all of the cutouts. They can kind of get twisted. So on your turn, you will have 3 in your hand at any given time. So let's say these 3 are mine. I can decide which of my 3 I want to play, and I place it into any display in any direction that I want. So let's say I went with that. And then the next player will go, and they also have 3 cards in their hand, and they get to decide how they want to play in there. So if they wanted, they could come in here and potentially cover up one of my fish. Or they could go to an entirely different display and start working on something for themselves. When you go into an empty display, it's only going to happen a few times each game. You are going to get 2 points for that. And you obviously probably are not going to score anything because the minimum number of fish required to score is 3. And your cards will only ever have 2 of your own fish and 1 of your opponent's. So then play just keeps going. You put your fish in there, you're making things happen, you're scoring points. Once either all of the displays are full or you are down to 2 cards and everyone else at the table is down to 2 cards, the game will end. That is when you are going to use this scoring, total up those scores, add it to the scoreboard, and whoever has the most points is going to win. So this game, I like it because you can teach it to young kids. They can play it very easily because you're just placing cards on top. And some of these can obviously get pretty high because there can be a lot of different cards. It's fun because there's that take that element of, I'm going to cover up yours because I don't want you to have 5 or more visible fish at the end of the game and get a ton of points. Once a display is full, though, it's locked. You can no longer play in that display. So whatever fish are visible are that way for the end of the game. It's the puzzle to figure out, where can I place my fish to maximize things? Because if, for example, I placed a fish and let's say it completed 2 objective cards, I only get to score one of them on a turn. So you don't necessarily want to complete multiple things at once because you want to maximize your points each turn by getting points for completing a pattern card each turn. The cards are really cool and unique because you don't see a lot of cards that have cutouts like this. The only drawback is they are so slippery. They're a little bit difficult at times, but I think this is a really fun and clever game. I looked on lots of places online. It generally goes for under $10, so that's also a great option because it's affordable to add to your collection. So I am really enjoying this one. I would love to know if you've played it. What do you think of it? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.